Very common question we get. What type of items do you guys work on? So I like to break it up into 3 or 4 different categories. And the first category is motor controls. So this would be AC, DC drives, and servo drives and amplifiers. So these could be Allen Bradley, ABB, Cutler Hammer, a vast majority of manufacturers, all the way from 2 to 3, 500 horsepower down to 5 horsepower. Okay, obviously the larger ones cost more to get reconditioned, and the smaller ones are less. Now typically anything under, depending on the manufacturer, some 5 horse and up are a little bit costly to get done. But for the most part, if it's 5 and 10 horsepower or less, a lot of times those are really worth just getting new. With that said, that's a whole nother story, but that's kind of the rule of thumb. The second type of item to go after would be industrial displays. Now, this could be touch screens. This could be Allen Bradley panel view items, Cutler Hammer items, Siemens touch panels. There's a vast array of them all over the place that are used throughout industrial automation. That's going to be your touch screens and LCDs. That's really what you're looking for. LED backlit, whatever they are. And they're really getting very sophisticated with them nowadays. I've even seen some up with Windows 10, which is actually a really big step when stuff's running Windows NT from years ago. So, but those are the types of things you need to be looking for. Would be industrial displays, some of our industrial CPUs, some of our just displays. That's the next type of item. And a big reason is that these are very costly items to replace. Some can be upwards of $5,000 and $10,000. And you would think it's just like a little screen of computer that I'm using. No, this is a very sophisticated piece of equipment. There's a lot of moving parts to it. And so it's a good opportunity for repair, but it's also a good opportunity for your client to get rebuilt because it saves them money in the long run too. Thirdly would be servo motors. This is something we started a couple of years ago, getting really, really good at them, getting some good traction with it and rebuilding servo motors. And so this is a very good market to get in. We used to outsource these years back, and we've since invested in all the equipment to start doing these in-house. So we encourage you to send in servo motors. It's a very good business to get into, and we have all the testing capabilities. We test the majority of manufacturers of all these, and it's just like let's talk about Allen Bradley and just say them because they're one of the biggest ones out there. ABB, Yaskawa, a bunch of different name brand servo motors that we recondition. Finally would be your programmable logic controllers and power supplies. So this would be the PL systems, the I/O cards, analog and digital input cards and analog digital output cards, the CPUs, power supplies that control these circuits, 24-volt power supplies. That's the types of things. So that's the 4 major categories. You got your drives, displays, servo motors, and PLCs. That's the 4 major categories you want to focus on. With that said, it doesn't say we can't work on other things as well. Now, we've also done some metal detection equipment for Safeline Mettler Toledo. It's a very specific type of a control module that we repaired, and it's very good, very prevalent within the food processing industry. And so a lot of times that ones get corroded, but we have the full testing capabilities for that specific type. So if there's anything that a client has a particular issue with, a particular item, I encourage you to take a picture or even send an item in for that item in for evaluation to kind of see if it's something that maybe we can set up a program with. Can we get this particular item because it's a high failure rate component within their facility that, maybe we can get them a good alternative solution to replacing, or maybe even they are getting it reconditioned and rebuilt somewhere, but maybe it's just way costly. So we can, a lot of times we can work with the pricing and really dive down to what their issue is and help them correct it. And a lot of times these guys are going to know that going into the plant. So that's how you're going to focus in there. And it's really asking the right questions up front of the client, asking the types of items that they have failed routinely, and understanding where we come in order to be able to do that. As always, you can give me a call, 800-962-6355, or you can email sales, SALES, @Power Control Services. Thank you.